Hello Tinkerers, today we're going to build ourselves a yummy little snack, a chocolate bar. Chocolate bar consists of a chocolate bar and a wrapper. So how are we going to do these in TinkerCAD? First off, we're going to start with a chocolate bar. We need to make these little nodules distinguish ourselves as a chocolate bar. So how are we going to do that? Looking at my basic shapes, best one I can think of is a nice pyramid. The reason it's going to be a nice pyramid is because I'm going to cut off the bottom of it to create a shape. So I need to make a nice tall pyramid, and I'm going to cut off this bottom shape to give myself that nodule. So what I want to do is grab myself a box, make my box nice and big so it covers up my pyramid, and then I'm going to move it up. How far should I have it? I'll have it about 15. Remember, I can either free eye it, or I can click across here and just type in 15. Here we go, so it's definitely 15 off the ground. And if I select them both by clicking and holding, making a red box over both, or holding shift and clicking on both, and then just group them together, and there you go, I have got my little shape. Thing is, that at the moment looks like a square, and I want a rectangle. So instead of being 20 by 20, let's change it to 20 by 30, and then I get a nice rectangular shape. And here we go. So that's going to be the start of my chocolate bar. Now I need them to rose up. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to click on duplicate once, but twice. And then therefore I should hopefully have two there. One, and then I've got another one hiding underneath. The thing is, I want to move it precisely how the width of the next one. So I'm holding shift. It allows me to move it along the axes. Holding shift, I can move it, and I want to move it precisely 30, don't I? Because that would put it next thing. And then I grab the next one. There's another one there. Remember, when I press duplicate, oops, daisy. If I make a mistake, just go back to undo. If I grab that one, move it, and hold shift, I want to move that one 60, don't I? So click on that, and type in 60, and then there you go. I've got my three parts of a chocolate bar together. And obviously want to stack it this direction to make my chocolate bar nice and lovely. So I can group all them together. That'd be a good start. Now if I press duplicate, remember nothing happens when I hit duplicate, but what's actually happened, it's created another one. And I now want to move it this direction, and because each one's 20, I want to move it 20, so I can move it, click on that, and it's going to be minus 20 because I'm moving it along that direction of the axes to the left. Yeah, minus 20, and then I can duplicate again, and I want to move this one, hopefully minus 20 plus 20, minus 40, isn't it? So minus 40. And keep going. Click on that one to duplicate because I just need to move it 20. That'd save me a little bit of time, wouldn't it? So move it minus 20 and keep going, duplicate. And there you go. It starts to work out what I'm trying to do. I can keep duplicating, making my chocolate bar. Look at that. Now then, that's looking like a really good chocolate bar. What I also want to do then is my chocolate bar isn't just made of foam blocks, it's also made up of a thick chocolate layer at the bottom, isn't it? If I'm looking at it, so it's just them sticking out the top, so I need to make that thick chocolate layer at the bottom. So I need to do a little bit of math. So it's 30 plus 30 plus 30, that is 90. So it's going to be 90 that direction. And then it's going to be 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. It's going to be 180 that direction, isn't it? Yeah. So what I can now do, if I group all them together, it'll probably even tell me, group. Thinks about it, and there you go. If I click on that, look at that. It says 180 by 90. Don't even need to do the adding up. It already does it for me. So grab my box. And what was the numbers? So I need to make mine 180 that direction, 180, and I need to make it 90 that direction. Here we go. Thing is, that's too thick. If I put it over the top, it's too thick, because at the end of the day, it is 20 high, and they're only 15 high. And I want them to stick out the top, don't I? So if they're 15 high, I only want this to be 10 high. So make that 10, then I can group them both, grab them both, and I can align, go to the align tool, align in the middle, align on there. There we go. Look at that. I've got a chocolate bar right there. Thing is, it's yellow and red chocolate bar. Not happy with that. Let's go on both. Let's group them together because I'm happy with that. And I definitely don't want it to be yellow. I want it to be brown, a dark brown. There we go. I've got my chocolate bar. Good job. Okay, once I've got my chocolate bar, I'm going to just shrink that down slightly. So let's make it a nice round number. Let's make it 150 that direction, and it will be 75 that direction. We've got nice numbers then, because what I want to do is obviously make my wrapper. It goes over the top. So how can I do that? Let's grab another box, and I wanted, what were the dimensions again? Let's just check. 150 by 75. So I want it definitely 75 that direction, but I don't want to cover up all my chocolate bar. So let's make it 75 and 100. So click on that. Let's make it 100 that direction and 75 in the other direction. 75. Oops. And 75 in the other direction. 75. Here we go. And then if I can align them in the middle, just align. I don't want to align them both directions this time because that put away a chocolate bar. I just want to align them here and here and align it at the end. If I align it to the end, it puts everything to the left. Here we go. And then I've got that. Now, if it's 75, it's not quite thick enough and you can kind of see the chocolate bar showing through. So actually you want to make that probably all the way up to 80. Yeah. And when I grab them now and align them, you'll see my chocolate bar comes out each side. So it's got a little bit of wrapping around the outside. Probably want to make that slightly thinner because it's 20, the chocolate bar's 15, so let's just say 18. Here we go, and I've got my chocolate bar coming out. That is looking pretty good. Okay, let's look at the next step. Well, it's decorating the chocolate bar wrapper. This is entirely up to you. How do you want to decorate it? You could start putting shapes on. You could do a bit of scribbling. You could start putting roofs on. Thing is, you definitely want some text, don't you? Now, if I put my text here, it's going to disappear. So I always try and do things to the side first. Now, I can bring it up, I can get it to stick out the top, or I could just lift it up slightly. Now I know it's 18 high, so 18 high, 20 high would be absolutely high enough, wouldn't it? So just click on the middle, click on there, click 20, and it'll be 20 high enough. And I want it to stand out, so let's make my text nice and blue. Okay, what do I want to say? So I go up to the shape area. I'm going to do a Willy Wonka chocolate bar, because that's a famous Willy Wonka. So just type in Willy Wonka. Here we go. Oh, I don't like that text, so I can change the text. Let's change it to Sans. Ah, oh, looks a lot nicer. Shrink that down slightly so it fits in. There we go. Nice and wide. Willy Wonka. Put it in the middle. Oh, it's just slightly too big again, so let's shrink it down a bit more. There we go. I've got Willy. There we go. I've got Willy Wonka. Just doing like chocolate bar. So I can Willy Wonka. I can bring on some more text. Willy Wonka. Remember, it needs to be 20 high to stick out the top, so 20. I'm going to have this text going to be underneath, it's going to be orange. And I can type in there, chocolate. Chocolate, Willy Wonka chocolate. Wow, let's shrink that down. Make it, oh, I can make it nice and long. There we go, that can be Willy Wonka chocolate. How is that looking? That's looking pretty cool. I could align these two texts. So remember, I can click on that, hold shift, click on them both, align them because I like things nice and aligned, and just align it in the middle there so it's nice and set. What else could I do? I could do a lot of things. I could, like I say, start looking for pictures to go on top. If I go through all these, there's characters I could put on, there's connectives. If I look in Shape Library, there are some cool things that I could do. If I go to Design Starters, there is some snowflakes I could get on, so I bring on a snowflake. How could I shrink that down? Shrink that down. I could have snowflake chocolate. Make that 20 high. And I could put that in the middle. Wow, they are Willy Wonka chocolate snowflakes. I could, if I was really tempting, duplicate my little snowflake and I could try and get them onto each of my mini little chocolate segments, just like they do in the real world. So obviously I know that each one is 15 high, so I can just make that around 16 high and it would just stick off the top. And then I need to change the size, that's way too big. Let's bring that all the way down to 12 by 12 and then just try and fit it on top of my chocolate bars. Once I've got my snowflake in the right place, I could just leave it like that and then I could duplicate it out onto each segment of my chocolate bar. Or what I could do is make a little embossed print. So what I need to do is change my snowflake to a hole, bring it up so it's just still slightly inside my segment. And then I select them all by either making a little red box or holding shift, group them together, Think about it for a bit, and there you go. It's made a little indent of a snowflake in each nodule. And I could do that for each segment for my chocolate bar, what would look really cool and make it look like a proper chocolate bar design. Anyway, hopefully you're going to come up with some even better ideas than me. I don't just want a Willy Wonka snowflake chocolate bar and lots of them. I want to see your own ideas, and I'd love to see what you come up with. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing some yummy three-dimensional snacks.